For me, my story begins in 1991, the 10th of November, a specific night. Prior to that, I was a fashion model in Paris, in London, in Milan. I was in the advertising and marketing world, and I was educating myself through Cambridge University. So it was a glamorous life for most people, but when this incident happened in 1991, it changed my life. I returned to Africa, where I'd been born, and I found myself in the middle of the wilderness, surrounded by a pride of lions, 24 lions, very angry, and my life was at great risk. But what happened was that an extraordinary woman, a traditional medicine woman of the Tsonga people, came walking at night on foot through the lions to rescue me. She actually had a baby strapped to her back in the African tradition. That incident changed my life. I realized that she was the most courageous woman I'd ever met. And I did come back to Europe as a model and as an advertising executive, but my world seemed very empty after that. It seemed full of illusions, vanities, branding, marketing, a commercial world, whereas the truth for me was back in Africa with this amazing woman who had changed my life. So then I gave up my life of glamour, and I tracked her down 3 years later, and I found her. And she was really waiting for me. She really said to me, okay, now are you going to get serious? Your role is to be the keeper of the white lions and protect them. So from that point on, it wasn't easy at all. My life changed completely. I had given everything up and I had to start again. I started a non-profit organization called the Global White Lion Protection Trust. And first of all, I researched on the white lions to discover why they're so important. I'll come to that in a moment, why they are so important. But setting up a non-profit is not easy. And I had to raise millions of dollars to secure thousands of hectares of protected land for these white lions, who are the apex predator in the epicenter of a huge ecosystem, but they're not protected. They are hunted, they've been removed, and they are at great risk of extinction, and much worse than that. We'll speak about that in a moment. My life was incredibly challenging for a number of reasons. I was opposing our government. I was presenting in European parliaments and British Parliament to try and change the law which does not protect lions and actually does not protect nature. And so this was the story of my life. The White Lion Protection Trust has achieved enormous things in a short time, relatively short time. We've achieved scientific breakthroughs thanks to my partner, who is a lion ecologist. Genetic breakthroughs. We've returned white lions back to the wild in a scientifically monitored reintroduction program. We've established educational centers for underprivileged children who are learning lessons of leadership from the white lions. And so essentially, we've set up a model of leadership in our own organization. Recently, I founded a second non-profit organization called the Linda Tucker Foundation. The difference essentially is that the White Lion Protection Trust protects lions, nature, ecosystems, really what a responsible government should do for humanity. We as a small non-profit organization do that ourselves, and that commitment costs us a minimum of €50,000 a month to protect a species for humanity. There shouldn't be any expense because that is a living heritage for humanity. If we ask the question, why are white lions so important? You might say, well, this is Africa, we're in Italy, why are white lions important? I would say to you, remember in our times, all conservation issues are global issues. If Brazil destroys their forests, you in Italy and Europe will have lost your lungs. If South Africa destroys lions, if lions go extinct, all our children will have to remember is the sculptures of St. Mark's. We will have lost the apex predator. And why the apex predator is so important is that the apex governs the entire ecosystem. It restores balance all the way down the trophic levels of an ecosystem. If you lose the apex predator, you lose the ecosystem. It collapses. But if you restore the apex predator to an ecosystem, you restore ecosystems. So the white lion is actually more than the apex predator of its ecosystem. It restores balance in a hugely important biosphere region, the third most important wilderness region in the world, the Kruger to Canyons biosphere. But much more than that, it provides a leadership model for humanity to be inspired in the way of the lion. And that is what the Linda Tucker Foundation is about. We support leadership initiatives that are here to protect our planet. And we do so with 12 laws of lion-hearted leadership. There are actually 13 laws of lion-hearted leadership. 12 plus an incredibly powerful law called elimination. All the other laws are laws that lions use in restoring balance, and we as leaders should know about these laws. Origination, appreciation, collaboration. These are all laws of lion-hearted leadership. And if we don't get them right, the final law, the 13th law, is elimination. Literally, our planet is at risk. If we don't restore leadership in the way of the lion, we face mass extinction, which includes our own.